Hello, this is Jeff Roth from G4G Matic Resource in Houston. Today we're going to go over the Solar Max and how it's impacting some of our RTK operations and some tips that might help us reduce the influence of this. This is just a picture showing some Solar Max and how it can affect the atmosphere. And so we take a look here. This is like a chart. There's like an 11-year cycle showing the sunspot activity. And you can see right now in 2025, we're about in a peak. So this could be affecting us for the next 8 to 12 months, okay? And it's like an 11-year cycle. And once again, this is like another graph just to show it. So we're peaking in 24, 25, and this coronal mass ejection. So once again, if the sun's spitting off the sunspot, it can affect our performance in the field. And here's an interesting website that could be a resource, spaceweather.com. So if I just click on this website, let's take a quick look at it. What we'll do is we'll scroll down, and there's a little area down here for the K index. If I hit the more data, it'll pop up a little graph here. And once again, green means we're good. There is a bunch of solar activity, sunspot activity. This might flare up, and you can see this in real time. So this is just a great little resource to have in the office. Okay, and once again, there is spaceweather.com. Once again, possible issues the crew might see is internet outages. So one thing we can do is we can help you with this to a certain degree. We have a new SIM card from DAC that can hop on T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. But there's a major sunspot activity. It can kick you off the internet, and there's not a lot we can do. But a DAC card could reduce the amount of time that you're down. And these sunspot activities, it could be that we're down for 2-3 hours or a little bit longer, and the performance will struggle a little bit. And we'll go over some satellite settings. So once again, we're going to raise our cutoff angle to 15 degrees because at 10 degrees, if there's solar activity, the lower line satellites have more noise and will increase our CQ values. The important thing is to change the L2C from default always track to automatic. And if you have interference mitigation as an option, turn that off. Only use interference mitigation in areas where you are seeing interference from like a 5G tower or say an airport. Okay. And the other thing is a lot of times we'll work in an IMAX, and IMAX is working like, say in Houston, we have a cell with like 5 base stations. This could be like a 20-mile by 20-mile area. And if there's solar activity, it could be over this area and can affect our performance. If we switch to the NEAR, it's just a single baseline and basically just pairs up to the closest base station. And there might be less noise and it might fix a little bit better. So that's another tip we're going to go over is how to change from an IMAX to a NEAR.
All right, we have a CS20 interface to a GS18, and we're going to take a look at a few settings to go over. We created a job called 121-25, and you see it's actually snowing in Houston today, which is very rare. And we're tracking satellites. Right now, we have an IMAX work style loaded. If I hit the star button, and we have work style, and we have an IMAX and a NEAR. So we can switch from an IMAX to a NEAR. The NEAR is a single baseline, and that might help when we have Solar Max because there's less noise over, and it's just looking at the closest base station. For now, let's just take a look at the settings on the IMAX. And the most important thing we want to look at is the GPS satellite settings. So we'll go under Settings, GS Sensor, Satellite Tracking, and we'll make sure that all the constellations are checked. And if you click on the last tab, Advanced, we want to do a cutoff angle of 15 degrees. We'll bump it up from 10 because the lower sides have more noise in a solar activity environment. And this is important. The L2C will default to always track. Change that to automatic, and this will help lessen the influence of a solar max and will help improve your fixing ability. The multipath reduction will reduce any noisy data and kick those satellites out. Interference mitigation is an option. Leave that unchecked. It's really important. Only put that on in areas where you are getting interfered with, like at an airport or 5G. But as default, leave that off. That's really important. So we'll hit OK. Then if I came in here and hit start streaming data, it'll hit the end trip and then fix. Okay. So once again, if we come up here, it's kicked out a few satellites that are noisy, and that's fine. If we were having a problem, we'd want to switch to the NEAR. So what's important is we'll always stop to hang up. Then I'll hit the star button, work style, and then just simply switch from an IMAX to a NEAR. And then we'll just give it a second to boot back up. And then we'll take a look at the settings. So once again, we'll make sure the site settings on the NEAR are correct as well. Okay. So once again, settings, GS, satellite, page over to advanced, and all that's the same. That's good. And let's just take a quick look. Right now we're using a DAC SIM card. It says connected to the internet. So under settings, connections, all the connections, and we'll page over the first tab, CS Internet, and the modem is activated. If I hit the control, the new APM for the DAC card, the DAC can hop on AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and the APN is DAC, capital DAC. We'll hit OK. And once again, if we come over here, the main difference, if we edit the RTK rover, we'll be using CS Internet 1, RTCM3, and the network type will be nearest. IMAX will be, the IMAX will just have that correction selected. And if we hit control, then we're using the mount point MSN near. So if we hit the source table, the IMAX would be using the IMAX, the nearest would be using the MSN near. And that will pick the closest base station. If we come in here and take a look at our SmartNet settings, we're using the port 9301. Okay? And we're in Texas, so we use texas.smartnetna.com. Okay? So those are the settings. And once again, switching from IMAX to NEAR can help. And the most important thing are those GPS settings that we had. And once again, if I just take a quick look outside, I just want to show you, we are having snow in Houston. It's very rare. The GS18 is out in the backyard. I got a Bluetooth, and we'll take a quick look at the snow out in the backyard. Just give it a second here. So the GS18i has a camera built in. Right now it's stable, but that's just showing you the snow that we have. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Hope this helped out.